Joe and Jessica, thanks so much for coming on. And we're going to take people through an artistic journey here today with your work. I had you on because you are creating some cartoons for the state of Connecticut. One called Nutmeg Junction, which is a little trolley train, and we're going to get to that in a second. But I love the wholesomeness that your cartoon is bringing, and you're bringing in different parts of the state with the trolley and telling a story with it. But there's a collaboration here too that we'll talk about. But first, the cartooning started with you, Joe, and you started with this little book. Tell the story of how this started, and then we'll get to where the cartoons are now.
Certainly, and can I just say it's an honor to be here, so thank you very much for having us on. The cartooning is something I've always done. My father taught me how to draw Disney cartoons when I was younger, and I had my own comic strip in school and college. After college, it was more of an unfocused and therefore unrealized dream.
But you were always doodling in between class?
I was always doing it, but nothing, it was not getting out into the outside world, if you will, until I started getting focused. And then when I started getting focused, things started happening relatively quickly. In terms of the book,
and I'm just going to show this book. It's so sweet.
It's called I Like Art, and I drew that for my daughter. My daughter was learning to read some sight words that she would bring home from school, these small little 8-page books. And we wanted to help her learn to read these sight words. So I started cartooning with her, drawing with her,
I like pig art. I love this.
And and she loved it too, because what we did is I drew her into the story. And so this is a story actually of my daughter and I going to the Wadsworth Athenaeum
in Hartford.
In Hartford, and we loved going there, and so she loved the book about it. And as you can see, I imagined myself with a lot more hair.
And she had some trouble reading, so this helped her picture what was going on.
This did help her, along with all of the other things that my wife worked with her and with the school, and so that was one part that assisted. Now she's an avid reader, and we're very, very happy about that.
Now, out of this, and we're going to get to you in a second, Jessica, but out of this came another cartoon, a couple of cartoons, one called Jurassicals, which we have up here on the screen. Tell me about Jurassicals. It's about a dinosaur.
That's right, and the dinosaur is basically my id. And
really?
Yes, and the second, at the silliest, and the second book that I had done for her was We Can Go to Omaha, and it featured a dinosaur. And so what I did is I decided to create a comic strip that had myself and my daughter and a dinosaur. And that became
and here's another example of that, as well as up here. Now this is in black and white, and this is painted.
That's right. For a month, I celebrated my year-long anniversary. It started in April of 2011, and so in April of 2012, I did a month of color, comic strips that's kind of celebrated art, and it was kind of a celebration that it was still in print.
Now, the two of you have a day job together, and this is where you meet. What happened when did you say to Jessica, or Jessica, you said to Joe, we should collaborate on something? Tell me this story, because I love this.
Well, we were actually assigned to work a project together where we were collaborating on drawing kind of set designs at work for a skit. And during that time period, Joe was like, wow, I didn't know that you had this kind of ability. And at that point, I started seeing more of his art. And we kind of brought it up to each other, like, why don't we do something with this? Why don't we, collaborate on something? And out came Nutmeg Junction from that.
Okay, so we're going to show this now. So did you draw this little trolley and you showed this to Jessica?
This was a little trolley that I drew in Torrington, right in front of the Torrington Library. And initially, the idea that I had was an In Torrington Today sort of comic strip. But after talking to Jessica, this is something that could be broadened in scope. I mean, I love Torrington.
The trolley goes all over the state, which is so great.
Yes, and that's one of the key features.
And we developed a family from there as well, because we wanted it to include families and family things that can take place here in Connecticut.
Now, so this is what the two of you started to collaborate on. You've got a family, you've got the friendly trolley. This is so homespun, and it's wonderful. And you're your own tourism brochure right here, because the trolley is going all over the state. And the idea behind this is to do this for children, talk about this love of Connecticut, and to kind of bring back some of the stuff, because the newspapers are not so much doing cartoons anymore, so this is where you guys come in. So we have your Facebook page with Nutmeg Junction. Now, who named the trolley? Is it Tony and part of Nutmeg Junction? How did this happen?
Well, the Tony was used initially for the In Torrington Today, but something that Jessica and I discussed, you may want to bring
Now,
it
you're
up.
going to be drawing something as we're talking,
Yes.
right? You're going to be working on something.
We discussed the idea of that perhaps could be more than one trolley. There could perhaps be a female.
Family of trolleys, and and broadening it for more than just one location, being able to reach out and have relatable characters.
Now, how is it that you collaborate? Who does what on these drawings?
We do both. We do everything.
We do everything.
Explain, what do you mean you do everything?
Well, we're going to show you actually, and it's something that we can do. We have very similar styles, and so I can pencil something. She can also pencil it and add some more definition to it. We can both ink the artwork,
And then we both color it. We either use acrylic, oils. We also work in watercolor. So whatever kind of strikes us at the moment, we kind of go with that medium in order to relay our message.
Now, I want to show, this is one of the paintings that you've done while you're working on that, Joe. And you like a very famous painter here that you'll point out. Tell me about this, and we can see the trolley here in the corner. So what's the theme? What's the message behind this?
Well, this is Starry Night over Hartford, an homage to my favorite artist, Vincent van Gogh. And so it was just kind of the skyline of Hartford. I think a lot of people know the skyline of New York, and Connecticut's such a beautiful place that we kind of wanted to, pay our respect to Hartford in this specific piece.
And this is in acrylics?
This is acrylic.
This is acrylics, okay. Now, Joe just passed this off to Jessica, we should say, and this is another painting, and this is the Wadsworth Athenaeum.
Yes.
And we've got the trolley down here.
Yes, and the trolley aspires, if you will, to one day be in the Wadsworth. It's one of the great jewels of Hartford.
It absolutely is.
As you can see, it was one of the inspirations for my creative work at the beginning, so it was worth bringing up and doing another painting on it.
Why a trolley?
A trolley gets somebody from one place to another, but it's also classic. It's also a classic mode of transportation that isn't necessarily used anymore, but it brings a smile to people's faces. And that's what a trolley is to me. We enjoy going to the Trolley Museum up in East Windsor.
And there's one in East Haven as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we enjoy going there. We enjoy taking the trolley rides, and there's something very, very exciting about that for the kids, and I think it translates.
What is the goal? Now you did Jurassicals for the daughter. You did another one called Happy Central New York.
That's right.
How many of your cartoons are in newspapers right now?
Happy Central New York is in the Scan Atlas Journal, thanks to
I love the
Jessica
name of that
Sewell.
newspaper.
It's a wonderful,
In New York.
wonderful town, a village, I should say, in the Finger Lakes. And the Jurassicals happens to be in Auburn, New York, which is the home of William Seward. And Jurassicals is also, I have a Nebraska version of Jurassicals, which is in two Nebraska newspapers.
What do you mean a version? Does the dinosaur do different things out there then?
There are two different dinosaurs, that's right. So I have two different stories going on, and then eventually the two will meet, and that'll be interesting. But the Nebraska newspapers are the McCook Daily Gazette and the Sydney Sun Telegraph.
What's the end goal? To be in a lot of newspapers around the country again, which of course are going online. Where's the goal? Because this is not the day job right now, but what's the goal for your cartoons?
I think the goal for us is to put part of a message out there that says that we celebrate a family environment, and getting that message out there is very important to us. And Jessica has her family, I have my family, and our families go out and we enjoy the locations that we're at. So if you notice,
get out and see Connecticut,
Yes.
right? And stop
Yes.
driving through it.
Yeah,
There's
that's-
New York, there's Boston. come see Connecticut, and I think this trolley is going to do that.
And so we do actually have an action plan in place in terms of what we want to achieve.
Accomplish, yeah.
Yes.
I think, we really want to start
again with
yes.
the art. I love that.
We want to start off first with doing like something fun for kids, coloring books, something that'll excite them. And then
Which piques my interest because there aren't great coloring books out there.
there's not, you have your regular traditional cartoons that they see and nothing relating to what they can experience here in Connecticut. And I think it's more exciting for a kid to see something, go, oh, I've been there, I saw that in person, I saw that dinosaur, I saw that. So I think it's more exciting for kids to color something or participate in something that they've actually experienced.
Now we're almost finished with this. You guys are working fast. Who decides what the dialogue is going to be with the cartoon? And who comes up with the little whimsy that the trolley thinks?
It's absolutely a collaboration.
Again, it's a collaboration.
Again, a collaboration because, I'll bring certain aspects of, we did one for Madison Cares, and we decided to do something Hammer Time because growing up, I listened to a little bit of MC Hammer
Which
then.
is affiliated with Habitat for Humanity.
Right. So I said, you know what, that is absolutely perfect. Why not do something with Hammer Time? So I could bring a little bit of my personality, youthfulness to the cartoon, and Joe brings a lot of his knowledge and experience to some of the, quips we put in there.
Now this seems like such a great collaboration. Do you ever disagree?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, well, there'll come a time, I'm sure. So as you're finishing this up, are there other cartoons that you're going to do? Are you going to stick to Nutmeg Junction and Jurassicals? I mean, how many can one, or a collaboration of people do at one time?
Our focus is, Draskell's is a separate thing, as is the Happy Central New York.
Yeah.
For us, we're going to focus on Nutmeg Junction and make sure that the idea, the positive message that is out there is going to be fully realized, and that we're able to share that in different mediums. So we're
Yeah.
going to focus on that.
Yeah, that's absolutely our focus. We would like to, branch out and, like we said, do a trolley that's the sister trolley or the
You've got a
dogs
lot of
adventures.
material there.
Oh, absolutely. And there's so many beautiful places in Connecticut. I mean, we couldn't run out of, different ideas for this cartoon at all.
Now, both of you grew up in Connecticut? You did not.
I did not. I grew up in Brockton, Massachusetts. And
So it's over the border.
absolutely.
But it's a different animal.
It is. It is. But we've been here since 2004, and I've really enjoyed being here in Connecticut. There's so much to do, and so this is where our home is.
Yeah,
And
and
Jessica?
I'm actually originally from Long Island, so I was born and raised there. I actually moved to Connecticut to go to the University of Connecticut. And once I was here, I found my home, and I was like, I couldn't imagine myself leaving here.
Well, the tourism department is going to love you guys. We have to wrap it up, but I know that you are painting this and you're almost finished with it. But I just want to show folks what you've done in this amount of time. What have you done here?
Well, we started to do, the basic outline of it, and
Yeah, the basic outline of the Wadsworth, just doing another one, just to show that we can actually do that in a relatively short amount of time. And so the possibilities are endless in terms of the subject matter and in terms of our ability to get the work done.
produce the work.
Two brains working as one for the state of Connecticut. You guys are awesome. Joe and Jessica, thanks so much for being on, and continued success.
Thank you,
Thank you
Ann.
so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.